What was your recording process back then? Because I remember I was growing up listening to like Beastie Boys and NWA and like Jazzy Jeff and the
If I
Fresh
tell
Prince.
people,
Like,
people never believe my recording process. My first recording process was the R70. I had a Gemini. I didn't even have a sampler. I had a Gemini 4-pad bank mixer with the start and stop button. And
yeah.
I end up finding out that you can get 2 to 3 seconds out of each pad bank. So wouldn't you like to be no, not wouldn't you like to be a hoe to Wet a Rat, um that passed a blunt that was made with that. Like I didn't get a little bit more what I say equipment savvy until somebody introduced me to the Akai SO1. I still had my R70. Then they introduced me to the Akai SO1. Then from the Akai SO1, I went to the MPC with the Akai SO1. But I didn't, actually, that Dion, when he say it's working, if you listen to that record, it's working has nothing to do with the record. He was saying the Akai SO1 was working because we couldn't figure it out.
I love shit like
You know
that.
what I'm saying? So it was crazy. Like we then me, Dion, and Milton would always trade recording secrets. Like, hey, I figured out. I called Milton one day and was like, hey, I figured out how to make the Akai SO1 sync up with the R70. Where when you put the samples in there, it loops and syncs up. They was like, get the fuck out of you lying. I'm like, I know how to make the Akai SO1 MIDI to the R70. And we had the bottom 4 pads, and the bottom 4 pads would be our samples, and that's how we did it. And then I ended up buying these things called the DR8s and DR16s. And from there, it was like, shit, I went and bought me a 16-track, boy. It upgraded as the more we went, the more we upgraded, but the sound was still crazy. Like, we didn't go to no recording studios. That shit was in our front rooms, bedrooms. Sometimes we had rooms at the park districts and shit like that they'll let us use, but it wasn't no recording studio. That shit came later on. Really, I feel like we kind of like got like a little bit too out of control, trying to do what we saw everybody else doing,
right? Yeah,
recording wise, and we didn't understand that what the recording style that we had and the thing that we were doing was unique.
Yeah.
We didn't
if it ain't
understand
broken,
that.
don't
We
fix
wanted
it.
exactly. So I'm never going back to a studio to sequence or none of that shit. I actually got rid of my MPC. And I use this program called Logic now. It's like an MPC
I was
on
looking at
fucking
Logic
crack.
this week. Yep, I actually.
Oh my
That's actually,
god, I
what's
love
funny?
Logic.
That leads me into a question I was going to ask you. So this is the drum machine that I have been using, and I don't use it. I haven't been using it that much. This is the drum machine I've had for years. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these. So this was I got this maybe 20 years ago. It's a Boss SP505 groove station. It's fun. It's functional.
Yeah.
Good for playing live and stuff. But
yeah.
I just last week replaced it with this bad boy, the new Machine Plus.
The Machine. You know what? I tried Machine. I tried Machine. I tried Ableton. I just couldn't. It just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Then somebody showed me. They was like, you know what? Somebody like you, let me show you Logic. They showed me Logic, and I was like, this works for me.
Yeah. I'm hoping to integrate this with Logic. That's the
Ableton reminded me of what's the program where you got to move all of the wires and.
Oh yeah, I can picture. I have different plugins that are like that, but yeah, it's like trying to mimic what it was like back in the day.
Yeah. I hate you got to move the.
Yeah, it's a little too much whimsy for me.
I was like, what is this? And the engineer was like, this a patch bay. Like, I don't need no motherfucking. I don't want nothing that makes me go 8 steps to get to one beat. It just don't make. I need some shit to go quick. Like, I be wanting to make beats in 5 or 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, I Logic. I'm so fascinated with Logic now. I don't see me leaving that no time soon.